Gatorade fuels the UAAP.
Well, as always, at the 2 position, Kiefer Ravena and Bobby Ray Parks. We know that Parks is the more prolific scorer, averaging 22 points per game, 7 rebounds per game. Ravena, 14 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game. But we all know that Kiefer Ravena has the knack for coming up during the big situations, just like Bobby Ray Parks does for NU.
Blue Eagles. And now our starting fives. Starting for your host school, the National University Bulldogs. At guard, number 4, Gelo Alolino. The other guard, number 15, Bobby Ray Parks. At center, number 14, Emmanuel Mbe. Forward, number 12, Glenn Cabontin. And the other forward, number 17, Rosario. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Eric Altamirano. Starting for the defending champions, the Ateneo Blue Eagles. At guard, number 5, Juami Tiongson. The other guard, number 15, Kiefer Ravena. At center, number 20, Greg Slaughter. Forward, number 7, Nico Salva.
Ray Parks, the super sophomore, coming off a 32-point performance, will lead the way for the National University Bulldogs, while ito namang si Nico Salva in the tail end of his career with Ateneo, coming off a 24-point performance, will lead the way para sa Blue Eagles. That was your Hanes starting 5, America's leading underwear brand.
One of the things noticeable for NU is that Coach Eric Altamirano is starting Glenn Cabontin at the 3 position, while Bobby Ray Parks is playing the 2 position. So bigger lineup, bigger starting 5 for the Bulldogs.
Much more pivotal game for National University than for Ateneo, although pinag-usapan na nga natin, Marco, that Ateneo needs this because they want to keep a hold of that top position with UST. They don't want to fall back because they go up against UST on Saturday. While for NU, they just want to hold back and keep away De La Salle. That's a team that's just half game behind them.
That is correct, Eric, because for Ateneo, like what you said, this is for first or second, at least a berth for first or second. But for NU, they're actually fighting for survival in that Final 4 with 2 games remaining for each team after this one. I'm talking about NU and La Salle.
And for our viewers, these 2 coming into today's game are the 2 highest scoring teams in the UAAP right now. Ateneo at number 1, NU at number 2. So expect a lot of firepower in this 40 minutes, or hopefully not more than that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, Eric, because these 2 teams, in their wins, if you look at their wins, they average about 75 points per game apiece in their wins, but in their losses, it's down to around 65 to 68 points per game. So definitely this looks to be a high-scoring ballgame, although I'm sure Coach Norman Black would want to limit NU in terms of the defensive end.
What a solid block there by Nico Salva on Ray Parks as we check in with Steph C.
Last Sunday, the Bulldogs played smart. They were disciplined and they had composure. Today, Coach Eric expects no less than what they've shown previously because he believes that as long as they play the way that they did against La Salle, then they have what it takes to win. Moreover, he instructed the boys to be alert by knowing the tendencies of their opponent and by making sure to block out, to rebound, and to stop transition. Sure, the Blue Eagles may be one tough contender. The team is aware how strong they are. But in Coach Eric's words, kahit malaking tinik ang Ateneo, alam kong kaya natin yan. Let's assert ourselves and let's stay aggressive because I'm confident that we have what it takes to beat them. So let's fight, Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Steph. Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. You love the passion, you love the confidence on his voice right now. Para kay Coach Eric Altamirano, as both teams have gone more than 2 minutes without scoring. And finally, Greg Slaughter puts it in.
And you know, Eric, prior to that, you saw the reason why Cabontin is fielded in as part of the starting 5. Cabontin was used to double Greg Slaughter, and that's the reason why they need a bigger 3-man in Glenn Cabontin to double Slaughter so that he does not lose so much in height when he's doubling.
That's been the recipe for most teams, is double Slaughter as soon as you get on that block.
Correct.
But it's easier said than done. Let's check in this time with Selena Degdan.
Coach Norman expects 2 things from the boys coming into today's matchup. Number 1, he wants to keep Mbe and Parks off the boards. And number 2, he wants to see his players execute well against the good defensive system which NU is known for. And just an interesting tidbit, Marco, Eric, if you take a look closely at the shoes of most of the players, there's a white tape that has Boy Aram's name on it. A simple tribute to their injured teammate who's out for the rest of the season due to ACL. Back to you, Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Selena. Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. Yes, we got word. It's an ACL injury on the part of JP Eram. And yes, meron silang number 10 or JP or Eram taped on the shoes of the Blue Eagles.
Yeah, that's a great gesture on the part of the Blue Eagles. We also saw Adamson do that for Coach Leo Austria. So it's really a point which a team can really focus on and draw strength from. As we see here, the big men of NU and Ateneo getting into the picture. Mbe and Greg Slaughter scoring on both ends of the floor.
And this is again a problem para kay Altamirano. He already, that's agenda number 1 para sa NU is stop Slaughter from going inside. Pero all of the points, the 4 points of Greg Slaughter have come from inside the paint. Here's that block against Sparks by Salva from Rexona Men with 50% more lasting protection. Spray on the confidence. Perfect combination. Alolino and Mbe from Pure Foods Tender Juicy Chicken Cheese Hot Dog.
That time, Juami Tiongson got caught on the switch. Emmanuel Mbe got the ball from Gelo Alolino and had only Tiongson to beat for the basket.
This is very key for NU as Mbe has 4 points. It's for him to be very active on the floor and, you know, cause a lot of matchup problems for whoever is picking him up defensively.
Yes, that's true, because I think quickness-wise, Mbe has the advantage over Greg Slaughter, although Greg Slaughter definitely with the height advantage. So Mbe really has to be active so that he can use up a little bit of that energy from Greg Slaughter and diminish his effectiveness on the offensive end.
By Mbe causing him his first personal foul. He tried to go for a steal, but he paid for it dearly. As Salva continues to sizzle from outside here today, that spells all sorts of trouble para sa National University.
And that's important because if Salva keeps on hitting those jumpers, then Jethro Rosario is really going to have to go out on him, leaving Greg Slaughter with a one-on-one against Emmanuel Mbe.
Pick and roll, Alolino and Mbe, and it's a basket and a foul on Nico Salva. A great play, hanging in the air, and tulad nga na nabanggit mo as you take a look at this yakisobrang move from Nissin Yakisoba, yakisobrang sarap. That's the advantage Mbe has over almost anybody at his position, at the 5 position, is that explosiveness, that quickness. Once he gets up in the air, it's all over.
Yes, he moves very well without the basketball, and that time immediately after setting that screen, spins to the basket, and that was also a great pass from Gelo Alolino. Simple bounce pass, but really effective.
And another steal. Take a look at the quickness. Mbe outruns Salva and slams it home. 9 points right off the gate for Emmanuel Mbe, scoring all of the points of National University.
A really good sign here for Coach Eric Altamirano, with Emmanuel Mbe very active on both offensive and defensive ends.
If he keeps this up, Ray Ray doesn't even have to score.
So far, Ray Ray Parks still scoreless in the ballgame, but NU only down by 1.
Globe prepaid, go lang and go halfway point of the quarter. Mbe's been doing all the damage para sa Bulldogs. Alolino finds Rosario. Rosario twice denied, one by Salva and one by Slaughter. Alolino, though, takes it away. And Parks has the leather with a fresh shot clock.
And you know, the other thing, Eric, is that if Mbe keeps on being active and uses his quickness against Greg Slaughter, Coach Norman Black might be forced to take Slaughter out for smaller but quicker big men. And we all know that JP Aram, with an ACL injury, not going to be there for Ateneo. So Coach Norman's going to have to use Frank Golia or Justin Chua, or even deeper in his bench.
Catch and shoot para kay Kiefer Ravena, and prior to that, a great move by seldom used Glenn Cobuntin para sa National University.
Well, Cobuntin has showed us every time he's been fielded on the floor that he has the ability to go aggressively to the basket and create opportunities
and he can
for the
create
Bulldogs.
Offense for himself. What a tip by Mbe. Again, very active. 11 points with 3:38 remaining in the first quarter.
That time, because Cobuntin was active, Greg Slaughter was forced to help out. Nobody there to box out Mbe for the putback.
That's traveling. Juami Tiongson hesitated. Here's a steal by the center. Straight away to an ultra-fast play from the new Tattoo U-Stick, Live Without Limits. Emmanuel Mbe off to one of the best starts for him in season 75 as Ryan Buenafe and Nico Salva check in para sa Ateneo.
He's actually already almost at his average of 12 points per ball game. Has 11 here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Oh, what a reverse layup. Ray Parks. That's the way you get your first basket of the game.
And you notice NU has not yet taken or even attempted a three-point shot. So there you can see they're aggressive to the basket on every possession.
Ravena very busy cutting across the lane. Oh, nails another one from almost an identical place. 4 points.
I'm sure this isn't the pace that Coach Norman would like if you're playing against NU, because he knows that NU can definitely match them offensive-wise.
And when we talked about it, Marco, both these teams are number 1 and 2,
Yeah.
highest scoring teams in the league. So we expected something like this. Get ready for what's next. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Emmanuel Mbe, after a 4-point performance for National University against La Salle, has come up big here today. 11 points on 5 for 5 shooting from the field. Here's the first basket of Ray Parks. What a way to get it. Oh wow moment of the game from Owishi, open up to everyday surprises.
Both teams playing quality ball games so far. They know that their strength is not the three-point shot, so no team has taken actually a three-point attempt so far.
Rosario leading the break as Chua checks in para sa Ateneo. A lot of turnovers for the Ateneans dito. Ayun yung foul ay tinawag. Either a swipe or a push from behind, doesn't matter. Instant replay from McDonald's. Overwhelm your senses with the new McDonald's Big and Tasty. Dial 86236 for back delivery.
And it's good that you pointed out turnovers, Eric, because Ateneo already has 4 turnovers here in the first quarter. And we saw the stats. In their wins, they only average 14 turnovers. In their losses, they go up to as high as 19 turnovers. So that's one of the things that they're going to have to be careful about this ball game.
They dodged a bullet in that 21 turnover performance against Adamson and still won the game. Pero that was high para sa Ateneo.
That's correct. That time, good move there on the part of Nico Salva with the floater.
Clear push off with the offhand by Ray Parks on Ravena, constituting an offensive foul. High performance drive from one of the smallest guys on the floor. That's Nico Salva from clear man deep cleanse with activated carbon. Deep cleanse for zero dandruff. Coach Altamirano shuffling his players now as Abilionar checks in para sa National University. Stats brought to you by KFC Coffee Crushers. Coffee indulgence in every sip.
And it's good what we see on the floor. Both teams, Ray Parks picking up Kiefer Ravena on defense. Kiefer Ravena picking up Ray Parks on defense on the other end.
Slaughter. That's not his shot.
And that's the shot that Coach Eric Altamirano is going to give Slaughter the entire afternoon. So good defense there on the part of Betayene.
Parks, stop and pop. Nice job by Betayene inside, just making sure it's not going to be that easy for Slaughter to get those defensive boards. Ravena is fouled by Cobuntin.
And there you see the veteran smarts of Kiefer Ravena. Even though he's only in his second year, konting hesitation, and then immediately goes for the body of Glenn Cobuntin.
Yeah, you pointed it out perfectly, Marco, no, as you see Frank Golia check in. And also see Ronyo para sa National University. Just in his second year to see Kiefer Ravena, the tag veteran really applies with the way he plays on the floor.
Now they're looking to post Kiefer Ravena on Ronyo.
Pero Buenafe opts to give it up to Chua, who overshoots the mark, and Betayene the rebound.
This is usually the period in the ball game where Ray Parks starts to take over offensively, Eric. With Mbe on the bench, look for Ray Parks to be more aggressive with his points.
Parks only with 2 points as Ravena is clearly disappointed with the way he fouled. He used his first personal foul there, fouling Ronyo as he was just bringing down the ball with no intention of actually making a shot. Ten on the shot clock. Kubuntin working on Buenafe. Kubuntin is double teamed. Avillonar spins around Goya and puts it in.
That's going to be a good sign and big bonus points there on the part of Coach Eric Altamirano whenever Avillonar or his second stringer from the bench can provide easy baskets for them.
Long two. And that is the end of the first quarter. Elorde missing from outside. That allows NU to preserve this slim 1-point lead. Champion, or make that Jollibee champ of the quarter. Big Burger goodness like no other. Who else? Emmanuel Mbe with an awesome performance. 11 points to start off this game. 17-16 NU over Ateneo at the end of the first. With the involvement of Avillonar, Kubuntin, and the performance of Mbe in the first quarter, Altamirano has the luxury of starting the second quarter with Ray Parks on the bench. Para naman sa Ateneo, they have one of their starting five, Kiefer Ravena, while everybody else is off the bench as Justin Chua connects.
And I think that was the kind of start that Coach Eric Altamirano wanted from his boys. Outscoring Ateneo 17-16 in that first quarter. Remember, in their first meeting, they were outscored 28-17 by Ateneo in the first quarter.
And Avillonar knocks it in, 5 points off the bench as we check in with Steph C.
Don't be afraid of making a mental mistake on defense. The only mistake you can make is if you don't play hard, said Coach Eric, clearly emphasizing the need to execute on defense until they're able to grab possession of the ball. In addition to that, he sees that the Bulldogs must remain focused no matter what. He wants them to stick to the system by using their heads in the game and by reading their opponent. That's because not only is it essential for National U to execute and to attack, but they must always know where they're going. Sabi nga ni Coach Eric sa kanila, guys, 2 words lang, discipline and fight. So let's not lose our focus and let's believe in our game plan. Let's believe in ourselves. Eric and Marco.
Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. Thanks, Steph, as Kiefer Ravena finally gets a rest and is replaced on the floor by Tonino Gonzaga.
Actually, both teams without their primary scorers on the floor. So it's a little bit crucial point in the ballgame. For Ateneo, who are you going to look to for scoring? Could be Ryan Buenafe, could be Justin Chua.
3 knocked in by Avillonar. The first 3 for either team from great taste. 3 and 1.
On NU's end, it could be Avillonar and it could be Mark de Guzman.
Now let's go to Selena Dagdag.
Coach Norman commends the NU Bulldogs for being a good team both defensively and offensively. Thus, in order to neutralize the strength of their opponents, Coach tailors the game plan that would ultimately involve the controlling of Parks. And since the NU is also the #1 rebounding team in the league, Coach Norman reminds the blue shirts in the huddle to set their screens in time, move the ball around, and crash the boards as aggressively. Back to you, Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Selena, for that Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. 2018 is the NU lead as de Guzman probes the defense of Ateneo. Villamor is in the ball game for the first time para sa Bulldogs. Avillonar against Chua. He has the quickness, uses it, and scores again. 7 points.
So far, Avillonar showing us that he is a legitimate offensive option. Remember, in that first game of the season, Avillonar really exploded against UE.
Buenafe dishing, finding the open man. Great play by Ryan Buenafe to find Goya for the first 2.
And Ateneo is really going to look towards Ryan Buenafe to create or to score, especially without Slaughter or Ravena on the floor.
Both teams have swapped the starting 5 for the bench here. That's what you see from Haynes on the floor, America's leading underwear brand. Gonzaga, one of the guys really productive off the bench para kay Norman Black, misses on the break. Ronyo is calling out the play. De Guzman, shifty and quick on the first step, gets his first 2 points.
That's what you like about Mark de Guzman. Quick attack, reading the defense. Defense was not properly set. Quickly attacks the basket for the easy 2.
3 minutes gone by dito sa ating second quarter. Chua, short. Ronyo is down, and there is going to be a foul on Ateneo. Take a look at the Havillonar drive, leaving si Chua eating his dust right there. High performance drive from Clearman Deep Cleanse with activated carbon. Deep Cleanse for zero dandruff. Ito, yakisobrang move naman ni De Guzman. Kanina pagigil drive yan eh. Finally does so here and connects. Yakisobrang move from using Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. And Norman Black can wait no longer as this defense is being shredded to bits by NU. Puts back Greg Slaughter on the floor.
And you're going to wonder how long Coach Eric Altamirano will keep Mbe on the bench, or Mbe or Parks on the bench with Greg Slaughter on the floor for Ateneo.
Well, his second stringers are performing so well, he doesn't need a starting five, any of the starting five on the floor. Ito yung ensuing battle for the loose ball. From McDonald's, overwhelm your senses with the new McDonald's Big and Tasty. Dial 86236 for Mac delivery. Possession awarded to Ateneo. Juami Tiongson is back in the ball game along with Nico Salva. Tiongson connects.
Good move there on the part of Juami Tiongson. Using his veteran smarts, slowly Juami has shown us that he can create offense for himself.
Ronyo, the floater off the glass. Medyo malakas. Ronyo gets back his own miss. Havillonar faking, brings it back out. Smart play by the veteran.
Well, lucky break there for Ateneo. Nobody really coming out to help on Ronyo.
Oh, Betayene. Blew by Slaughter, but the length of Slaughter just a factor defensively. Slaughter running the break. Ronyo again involved, stealing the ball away.
That time, Buenafe intimidated a bit by Betayene's shot blocking prowess. We all know Betayene averages about 2 blocks per ball game.
Pesumal is on De Guzman. Nice move by De Guzman. 4 points for him. And it's a 26-22 National University lead. Really showcasing his skills at a very early stage in his UAAP career. And definitely, you'll see more of that kid from National University. Stats hatid sa atin ng KFC Coffee Crushers. Coffee indulgence in every sip.
And you know, so far the bench of NU outplaying the bench of Ateneo 11-6. But here is, for me, an interesting stat. In terms of points in the paint, NU outscoring Ateneo 18-10. And what is interesting about that is because in Ateneo's losses, they've allowed their opponents to score 36 points in the paint, while in their wins, they've only allowed their opponents to score 27 points in the paint. So if this trend continues, could be a dangerous sign here for the Blue Eagles.
Love ng Barkada moment of the game brought to you by Shippy. Love namin talaga. Well, it's been the activity of guys like De Guzman, Havillonar, Mbe.
Mbe, yes, correct.
That's been causing this breakdown in the zone defense ng Ateneo.
And what you like about that is that NU has only attempted 1 3-point shot here this entire ballgame, while Nico Salva still sizzling hot from the field.
6 points para kay Salva. NU enjoying a 2-point lead here, 26-24. Andito na tayo sa ating go lang ng go. Halfway point of the quarter. Atid sa atin ng Globe Prepaid.
And again, Kiefer Ravena making use of his veteran smarts. Again, attacking Mark De Guzman. I believe it's the second time. Yung kanina, Mark De Guzman din ata yun.
Perfect combination of Pure Foods tender, juicy chicken cheese hot dogs.
So now, Eric, you have Parks and Mbe back on the floor. So the primary scores for both teams, Ravena, Salva, Slaughter on the floor for Ateneo, Parks and Mbe with Havillonar for NU.
There's JP Eram, who obviously wishes he was still playing right now. There's proud daddy Bong Ravena looking on as his son continues to struggle at the line. Knocks in 1 for 2 on that trip. Mami Mosey, hindi na naman magkatabi, no? Nabanggit ni TJ yan before. Hindi nagtatabi yung dalawa. Very seldom.
May kanya-kanya silang ritual.
Mga pamahiin. Ano?
Pamahiin.
Parks from outside. Yes!
And you know, Eric, the quality of the shots that Bobby Ray Parks has taken here in this ballgame, very good so far. He's picking his shots and then he's making them, shooting at a high percentage.
5 points para kay Parks
As the switch, there was a miscommunication on the switch between Parks and De Guzman, leaving Ravena momentarily open, and that's all he needs.
And they're trying to post Parks against a smaller Kiefer Ravena. Salva with the immediate double.
And a quick steal, Sumalinog, as the pass outside was being made by Parks, and an easy basket para kay Juami Tiongson.
Great unselfish play there on the part of Sumalinog, playing the passing lanes perfectly and then drawing the defense for the wide open dump to Juami Tiongson.
Parks looking for Mbe. That was telegraphed easily by Ateneo. Salva down the middle. Sumalinog. Short stab is out, and Parks with another rebound. That's rebound number 3. Nine to shoot para sa Bulldogs. Alolino looking at the clock, sizing up Juami Tiongson. There's Habillonar, air ball. Put back by De Guzman, wala. It's knocked away. It will go to Ateneo.
A little more activity on defense here for the Blue Eagles, playing the passing lanes better, helping out their teammates.
Ray Parks making it look so easy. A 3-point shot, his first one of the game. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be his last. Brought to you by Great Case 3-in-1. Ito yung steal. Saucony run to the basket. We know because we run. Sumalinog looking for the open man. Finding Tiongson for the 2 and the double team against Slaughter as we return to live action. Salva from outside. Finally misses. Huge, for sure, sigh of relief para kay Altamirano. No, nagmiktis yun.
Correct, and that time credit a bit of that miss to that quick rotation on the part of Mark De Guzman. So we see both teams doubling on the post. Ateneo doubling Parks, NU doubling Slaughter.
Wow, that was Sumalinog going up man-to-man against Mbe, and a scream of disgust by the Ateneo fans, thinking that was a clean one. Maybe we can take a look at that again because it seemed like a solid block up top. Take a look. I don't know if there was somebody there, pero sa taas parang kuhang-kuha yung bola, no?
Oh, I think it was clean up top, but I guess they call the contact on the body. A great effort there. Sumalinog rotating from the weak side for that block.
Instant replay from McDonald's. Overwhelm your senses with the new McDonald's Big and Tasty. Dial 86236 for Mac delivery.
And you know, that is the third free throw attempt by Emmanuel Mbe, or third and fourth free throw attempt by Emmanuel Mbe. Both these teams leading the league in terms of free throw attempts. Ateneo 24.9, NU 23.9. So that's just a testament of how hard and how aggressive they go to the basket almost every possession.
13 points for Emmanuel Mbe. As napilitan naman tumira sa labas si Slaughter because of the tight defense by Mbe, preventing him from posting up.
So Coach Eric Altamirano giving Greg Slaughter different looks. Sometimes he doubles, sometimes he gives him single coverage. Makes Slaughter guess a bit, so tries to distract him from making those easy baskets.
They always want to work the pick and roll with Mbe, pero that time they went to Rosario. Catch and shoot, parang alley-oop reverse. Didn't work. Slaughter, that's too easy for the big man.
Emmanuel Mbe already with 13 points. Still perfect from the field and the free throw line. But that time, credit him also for getting back on transition, except that it was a great pass to Greg Slaughter down the middle.
Mbe forcing the issue and gets the foul again. This time, I think it's still going to be on Sumalinog, catching the arm. Strong power move done. Greg Slaughter. Sang tulog lang, may bahay ka na with PS Bank Home Loan with Prime Rebate. 31 all, our fourth deadlock of the game. Mbe, perfect performance so far, Marco, no?
Yep.
In 19 minutes of action, and
still continues to be perfect. As you see Coach Olsen Rosella
Actually, maraming coaches na nanonood.
Oo.
Nabanggit mo kanina, Marco, no?
Raiko Toraman also on the floor.
Wow, Mbe. What a
5 for
first
5.
half, no?
Providing the scoring lift for the NU Bulldogs. Emmanuel Mbe already with 15 points. Bobby Ray Parks still in single digits with 7. So here's the double on Slaughter.
Slaughter picks up his own miss. Blocked by De Guzman on that triple team against Greg Slaughter. Parks the fake. Parks kicks it out. Alolino 3. Just a bit strong. About 1 second separate game and shot. But Parks lets it fly a little too early that time. Now Ateneo can really set for the final shot here.
Probably look for Kiefer Ravena to milk the shot clock and then go for the final drive or final shot.
5 to shoot. Oh, that's unoffensive. Yes.
Great defense there on the part of Bobby Ray Parks. He guessed right. He knew Kiefer goes strong to the right. So he guessed right and drew the charge on Ravena.
Ravena picks up his second personal foul. 3.2 seconds. Enough time for a few quick dribbles and a shot. Who else but Ray Ray? On the spin, Ray Parks. And that doesn't count. Wouldn't have counted even if it went in. As time expires in the first half of action, Jollibee champ of the quarter. Big burger goodness like no other.
Abilinar already with 7 points in this ball game and really stepping up in the second quarter, providing the bench points for the NU Bulldogs, who now lead 33-31. Bobby Ray Parks has only played 15 minutes, so he's rested 5 minutes in that first half. I expect him to really be more aggressive here in the second.
That's good news for NU and bad news for Ateneo. Definitely. Rosario fronted by Salva. Parks, one-hander, medyo malakas on the angle.
And that's a sign of things to come. On the first possession, they look for Bobby Ray Parks to attack Kiefer Ravena on the elbow.
Ateneo, they want to get Slaughter involved defensively, and that's the way to do it.
That time, no double team coming from Jetroy Rosario. So let's see if Coach Eric Altamirano starts mixing it up early here in the third quarter.
10 points for Greg Slaughter. Offensive foul. Tawagan si Gelo Alolino. He doesn't even know what happened, how it went down. The Victoriano family bonding moment from PLDT My DSL. The strongest connections are at home. Too quick for the big man as Juami Tiongson caught Slaughter with his pants down. That's out of bounds. Turnover para sa Ateneo.
Good intention there on the part of Juami Tiongson, except that his big man also wasn't ready for the pass.
33 all at the start of the third. Parks open. Good play by Rosario to keep it alive para sa NU, pero on the second attempt by Parks, wala pa rin.
Still good attempts though for Parks, wide open on both occasions.
Sumalinog outside.
I believe that was the first three-point attempt for Ateneo in the ball game, Eric.
Oh, and this time Sumalinog, a solid block on Mbe. Sumalinog with a left hand, it trickles in.
Perfect pass break there for the Blue Eagles. 3-on-1 against Bobby Ray Parks.
And Ateneo's tasted the lead since the first quarter as we check in with Steph C.
Down to the second half, the Bulldogs will attempt to control and dictate the game's tempo as they continue to sustain their defense as well as their aggressiveness. Speaking of aggressiveness, Coach Eric instructed his team to be physical and to stay that way. As much as possible, he doesn't want them to be passive. Like he said, dapat matapang tayo hanggang endgame. We have to learn how to close out our games. In the dugout, there were 3 things stressed out: focus, discipline, and run. If they miss a shot, they must run and sprint back to paint. So for the last few minutes of the game, we can expect the Bulldogs to be strong as they keep in mind Coach Eric saying, hindi lang tayo dapat mukhang matapang, dapat matapang talaga tayo, Eric and Marco.
Thank you, Steph. As NU continues to struggle to start the third quarter. That was, by the way, our Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. No field goals for NU yet here in the third, while Ateneo has overtaken them with 2 field goals, 37 now to 33.
That was only the 6th fast break point for Ateneo, but NU so far still scoreless here in the second half.
I stand corrected. That's 3 field goals para sa Ateneo here in the third quarter. Ultra fast play from the new Tattoo U-Stick Live Without Limits. Sumalino contributing with his first basket there. De Guzman step back 3, way off the mark. And Mbe still very active on the boards, 17 points.
Oh, I think they're gonna wave that shot.
So it doesn't count for Emmanuel Mbe. And ito, NU still scoreless in the third quarter as we go to Selena Dagdag.
Coach Norman wants the boys to dominate the basket by attacking the basket and getting as much rebounds as they can. And since the Blue Eagles now have a better grasp of what the Bulldogs are trying to do offensively, the coaching staff wants the boys to adjust their game plan by staying in front of their own man and most of all, by helping Greg out. Back to you, Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Selena. Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. Helping Greg definitely is going to be a good thing because he's going to be attacked, especially by the likes of Mbe. As you take a look at this ultra-fast play from the new Tattoo U-Stick Live Without Limits. That play began with a turnover, if I'm not mistaken, from Ray Parks, who has missed all of his attempts here in the third quarter. His 0 for 3 from the field is even their free throws are continuing to go downhill. Itong si De Guzman missing the first of 2.
Ateneo starting out the third quarter with a lot more defensive intensity, really clogging the lanes and playing better help side rotation on Emmanuel Mbe. 6-0 run here, or 6-1 run here in the third quarter.
High pick and roll, Salva and si Ravena, they bring it back out, swing it around, find Greg again, and Slaughter inside, it's good.
Great extra pass there on the part of Kiefer Ravena. He could have swung it to the corner, but still focusing on being aggressive inside the paint. That's the game plan for the second half for the Blue Eagles.
Ateneo crowd alive dito sa Ultra. Alolino quiets them down as finally NU gets their first field goal in the third quarter. Almost 4 minutes gone by before they got it.
Ganda ng ball fake ni Gelo Alolino. Distracting Slaughter for a split second, just enough for him to get that shot off without contention.
Oh, and Slaughter is starting to get in the zone here. 14 points.
And Coach Eric Altamirano gonna field in Henry Betayene for a little more defensive prowess against Greg Slaughter.
Pick and roll, Alolino and Mbe scores and finally gets his 17th point.
And that's what they were doing in the first half. Off the pick and roll, Gelo Alolino was finding Emmanuel Mbe, and once he gets it deep inside the paint, it's one-on-one against Nico Salva.
Tiongson wants Slaughter on the post instead of Salva. Waves Salva away. Double team on Slaughter. Salva against the smaller De Guzman, and he takes advantage.
And that's wise of Salva to not get out of the paint because that provided Greg Slaughter with an easy dump-off pass. One-on-one against Mark De Guzman.
Ateneo on a bit of a run here. 43-38.
And I think the key here, Eric, is that here in the second half, field goal shooting of NU dropping down to just 22% from 42% in the first.
Great pass, threading the needle, and then Kiefer Ravena. 45-38 in the third quarter. Yeah, mabalik tayo sa sinabi mo, Marco, no? Malaking bagay yan para sa NU. They really need to pick up their shooting. 22% from the field here in the third quarter. And it's not going to get any better if they keep on turning the ball over as well.
And you know, Ateneo really clogging the lane and rotating well on defense. This is the 6th fast break point for Ateneo here in the third quarter. 8 fast break points already for them in the ball game.
Saucony run to the basket. We know because we run. Globe Prepaid, go lang ng go, halfway point of the quarter. Salva in all sorts of traffic, but still manages to shoot over Rosario. And Rosario is looking at the bench like, what else do I need to do?
Actually, good defense na yun kay Jethro Rosario. Nothing he can do. Good defense, but just better offense from Nico Salva.
Salva has 10. Rosario finds an opening. Rosario attacks and scores.
Tit for tat here from Jetroy Rosario. Nico Salva shooting 66% from the field.
First basket para kay Rosario. Almost a steal. And it's completed. Taken away by Parks from up top. Sumalino bothering Ray Parks, and Parks losing it. 3-on-3 break here. Salva, one-hander. Alolino finds the middle. Fakes, brings it back out. Rosario with all sorts of time to shoot, pero wala.
Useless foul there on the part of Jetroy Rosario. Frustration foul. Kasi wide open yung 3 points niya.
And take a look at this excellent move by Salva. Had to use several fakes just to get a bit of an opening there. Owishi, oh wow moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises. Ito, bumawi naman sa kabila si Rosario. On our clear man high performance drive. Clear man deep cleanse with activated carbon. Deep cleanse for zero dandruff. And Rosario gets a rest. Pumasok si Habillonar. Ito rin, pumasok sa loob si Buenafe. And Justin Chua para sa Ateneo.
Here's the quick double on the part of NU.
Buenafe, outside shot. Yes, it's good.
And what a time for Ryan Buenafe to hit his first three-pointer of the ballgame, making NU pay for double teaming Greg Slaughter in the paint.
Biggest lead of Ateneo at 10 points. And what a time for these turnovers to come as Alolino is whistled for an offensive foul. 50-40 is the Ateneo lead over National University. Get ready for what's next. Have a break. Have a Kit Kats. And he was passing out to Ryan Buenafe.
Ryan Buenafe now called for that offensive foul. But you know, assists is the name of the game for Ateneo. They are the second leading team in terms of assists, while NU is the #1 team. But so far, Ateneo outplaying them. As you see here, the great draw of the offensive charge by Glenn Cobontin.
Buenafe throwing his weight around there. Clearly seen. Batting instant replay from McDonald's. Overwhelm your senses with the new McDonald's Big and Tasty. Dial 86236 for Mac delivery.
Ateneo already with 14 assists in the ball game. They average 15 per game. NU only with 6 assists. So doing a better job sharing that basketball.
Chua called for a ticky-tack foul that time. Seemed like it was just hard double team on Ray Parks, pero the whistle was blown. 50-40 Ateneo, 10-point lead, the biggest lead of the Ateneans against National University.
And you know what Ateneo has done here in the second half, Eric, going back to that report by Selena, they've played a lot better defense. They've only allowed NU to score 9 points while they have scored already 19 in the second half, and they've limited NU to just 25% from the field.
Justin Chua commits his 4th personal foul here, but despite that, they live with that if they can keep 25% shooting into National University on the floor.
And they forced NU to already 6 turnovers here in the third quarter.
9 points para kay Habillonar. Continues to be the man off the bench, producing the numbers for National University. That's Tracy Aison. Courtside charmer from Silverworks adds classiness to her smart fashion sense. Silverworks live to play.
So now NU dropping to a 2-3 zone, a ploy that a lot of teams like UE Adamson have used against Ateneo, which have been somewhat effective against the Blue Eagles.
That's a long 2. Wala para kay Sumalino. Ronyo will be calling the shots para sa National University with under 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
And you know, Eric, with Greg Slaughter on the bench, Ateneo's offense will really come most likely from Kiefer Ravena and Ryan Buenafe.
Ronyo with 3 to shoot. Mbe, one to shoot. Mbe is rejected again. Wow, Sumalino has got the number of Mbe this entire afternoon.
That is the third block, or actually the second block, because the first one was called as a foul on Sumalino.
This was probably in the first half because there's nothing to cheer about for NU ngayong third quarter. No, get ready for what's next. Have a break, have a Kit Kat on our Kit Kat best break. Elorde open for three, and the defense of NU has fallen apart in the third quarter.
And that is really what the defense of NU is going to give Ateneo. So a big bonus here on the part of the Blue Eagles with Nico Elorde hitting that wide open three.
Biggest lead at 11 points now for the Blue Eagles. Kabuntin, that's a traveling.
And that is the 7th turnover for the Bulldogs here in the third.
Nothing going right on both ends of the floor for NU. That was the last basket of Ateneo. Three from Great Case, 3-1. Off the hands of Nico Elorde, former Green Archer, who's turned blue in season 75. Buenafe. 6 to shoot. 3 on the way. It's good for Kiefer Ravena.
And you know, yun talaga yung pinibigay ng 2-3 zone, the wide open three-pointer, and so far Ateneo has stepped up and made their shots.
And at the buzzer, that will count for Javillonar.
Referees are
Well, they will review it. Seemed like it was good, but we'll see the final verdict of the officials. Seemed like there was plenty of time to launch it. Oh, this is going to be tight. No, it's definitely in his hands. As the shot clock expired. It's definitely still in his hands.
And again,
Get too many closer to
the referees taking a little extra time to make sure, which is the right thing to do, Eric.
Of course. That's going to be a big blow to National University. But this is waged off by the officials who are still deliberating right now along with Commissioner Atoba Dolato.
Right now, the scoring for the third quarter stands at 25 for Ateneo, 12 for the Bulldogs without that three-pointer. So even if it's counted, it's a 25 to 15 quarter for the Blue Eagles, really turning around that first half.
Hand is in motion, the entire arm is in motion. It's a little blurred, but wow, the officials will count it. So it is good. It's 15 points, the output of National University. It was a close one, but it was inconclusive on our end. Masyadong malayo tayo during that when that shot was put up. The officials, their call will have to stand. Jollibee champ of the quarter, Big Burger goodness like no other.
It's going to go to Greg Slaughter with 6 points in the quarter. Total of 14 points for the ball game for Greg Slaughter.
3 players from Ateneo in double digits, Slaughter, Salva, and Ravena. They combined for the 56 of the 45 of NU. But they've still got a long way to go. They're down by 11 to start the fourth quarter.
And Ateneo starting without Greg Slaughter on the floor, but with Salva and Ravena. For NU, they have Bobby Ray Parks and Emmanuel Mbe, their primary scorers, with Glenn Kabuntin and Javillonar and Ronyo to finish off the 5.
Stats from KFC Coffee Crushers, coffee indulgence in every sip as Javillonar attacks the defense of Ateneo.
There you can see this quarter scoring, the big third quarter for the Blue Eagles, 25 to 12, whereas the first and the second quarters were more or less even for both teams.
Let's go courtside to Selena Dagdag.
When I asked Coach Norman in yesterday's practice what he expects of the boys coming into today's matchup, he says, I always expect one thing. I expect us to win. With this in mind, the coaching staff of the Blue Eagles aim to propel the team to victory by asking the players to drive through the NU's pick and rolls. This way, they get to score the kind of points that the team is used to, the field goal points inside the paint. Back to you, Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Selena, for that Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better. They want to get the points inside the paint, and obviously, they always expect to win every time they're on the court. And that should be the mentality of each and every team in the UAAP. You don't go to center court and you're unsure of
Yep.
yourself of whether you're going to win or not, right? Let's listen to Steph C this time.
Composure. At this point, that is definitely an important factor for the Bulldogs, which is why Coach Eric would constantly remind the team to relax and not to be disheartened. As long as they do what they have to do and as long as they continue to be disciplined, then today's match can end in their favor. When we make mistakes, bumawi tayo, said Coach Eric, who wants nothing more than for the Bulldogs to follow their system and their game plan. So for this crucial quarter, he further instructed them to be tough by never giving up and by playing the best defense they've ever had. After all, bilog ang bola and the game is not over until the final buzzer beats. Eric and Marco.
Thanks, Steph. Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 courtside update. Life just got better, well, not yet para sa National University. It's going to be a tough 8:54 para sa Bulldogs if they are looking to overhaul this deficit right now.
And you know, Coach Eric Altamira hit the nail on the head. The only way to really get back in this ball game is to play defense and make stops. You can't afford to trade baskets with Ateneo because Ateneo, with the veteran lineup that they have, is really one of the best at managing leads. And for NU to be able to get back, they really have to make stops.
Good denial. Ball denial by Parks. Takes it away from Tiongson and Habilunar. Still very active. 15 points for Habilunar, who averages about seven a ball game.
Medyo nakita natin nag-dip yung minutes ni Habilunar with the emergence of Rosario. But today in this ball game, Habilunar, second leading scorer next to Emmanuel Mbe.
He's just 4 points shy of his season high as Buenafe is stripped. That's off his leg. NU is on a good roll here, Marco. Ito yung ball denial, no? Kanina, ni Parks. He was fronting. Steal that scene and share it with Globe Prepaid Social 20.
That time, Parks really showing no respect for the three-point shooting of Juami Tiongson.
Salva is on Habilunar. Mbe facing up on Slaughter. Top shot underneath the basket para kay Mbe.
Nowhere to go there. Good job by Greg Slaughter, really standing his ground.
Pero Mbe really shot himself in the foot there by going way too deep. Ravena pulls up, in and out.
3 possessions on the floor, empty, coming up empty for the Blue Eagles. So good stops here on the part of NU. Now the lead is down to 8.
And they should take advantage of these empty trips para sa Ateneo. Parks barely saving the ball there. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Parks dumps it down. Mbe denied again after a spectacular first quarter. He has struggled. Salva. Ooh, awkward layup from Salva after he was bothered on his drive, but nails it anyway. Back to a 10-point lead for Ateneo.
Big three of Ateneo already in double digits. Slaughter with 14, Ravena with 12, Salva with 10. And you know, so far Ateneo has done a good job on Bobby Ray Parks. Only with 5 points in the ball game, Eric, but with 8 rebounds and 2 assists.
Habilunar, butterfingers right there, but he gets it. Dives for the loose ball as he got tangled up with Buenafe, and it is a turnover again para sa NU. Ultra fast play from the new Tattoo U-Stick Live Without Limits. Parks brings it down and Habilunar puts the finishing touch. Pero NU unable to capitalize on these mistakes by Ateneo, and Ateneo starting to get their game on, and see the good vibes from Salva brought to you by Swish. Switch to Switch, or Switch to Swish. Alcohol-free mouthwash, it's all good.
Bobby Ray Parks 2 for 10 from the field. One of the reasons why Mark de Guzman coming in for him, but you can expect that to be the last bit of rest that Bobby Ray Parks is going to get in this ball game. He's going to be in for the final stretch.
Slaughter operating one-on-one. That's definitely not going to be enough to stop him. Rosario running. Another turnover para sa NU. And with almost 4 minutes gone by, time is definitely not a friend of the Bulldogs. Yakisobrang move from DC Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. Slaughter 16 points already in the game, along with 8 boards and 3 blocks. Salva. Yes.
And you know, Eric, that is the problem when Nico Salva is humming and shooting efficiently from the outside. Rosario cannot afford to double Greg Slaughter on the post because they know that Nico Salva will make them pay.
Wow. Sumalino is on the ball when it comes to rebounds and blocks here today.
Oh, that is already the second block.
That's
Third.
maybe third, you know?
Third block of Oping Sumalino.
Because he has two on Mbe, just on Mbe alone, and that one as well. And Slaughter again. Just tearing up the defense, the one-on-one defense of Emmanuel Mbe. And don't look now, Ateneo is on a huge roll after a poor start in the fourth quarter. They're up 64-48. Clearman performance or high performance drive from Clearman. Deep cleanse with activated carbon. Deep cleanse for zero dandruff. Finally, Mbe gets back on track. 19 points, Marco.
Yep, that is but only the 5th point of NU here in the fourth quarter. You know, Slaughter has shown a lot of great recognition of when the double team is or is not coming. When it's not there, he's patiently backing down Emmanuel Mbe in the post.
And again, pinabayaan si Slaughter on the post operating against Mbe, and same result.
And again, Jetroy Rosario hesitant or cannot double on Greg Slaughter because Nico Salva is the second leading scorer and is shooting 63% from the field.
14 points for Salva as Sparks is denied by Ravena.
Sparks' offense really out of sync here in the ballgame. He only has 5 points so far. The defense of Ateneo really clamping down, led by Kiefer Ravena on Bobby Ray Parks.
That's been far and few between yung strong power move na yun from PS Bank. Isang tulog lang, may bahay ka na with PS Bank home loan with prime rebate. And to compound the troubles of National University, that's a 24-second shot clock violation. They're down by 16 with just 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yep, that is, I believe, the 3rd shot clock violation of NU, the 20th turnover in the ballgame.
Nandito na tayo sa ating Globe Prepaid. Go lang ng go, halfway point of the quarter. Maybe the point of no return para sa National University. But they still throw it away, and an easy basket on the other side. Slaughter has 22.
And you know, Oping Sumalino has really stepped up on the defensive end. 2 blocks, that time another interception, leading to that easy basket from Greg Slaughter.
Poor spacing on the offensive end para sa NU. Forces Sparks to shoot from outside.
And it's going to be off a white shirt, so it's going to go back to the Blue Eagles.
Ito yung steal ng Ateneo Sumalino to Slaughter. Perfect combination from Pure Food Standard Juicy Chick and Cheese Hot Dog. Ravena trying to rub off the Guzman from Slaughter. And that's an air ball, a rare one para kay Kiefer Ravena. Parks slips and slides. There was a foul called on Juami Tiongson.
But you know, I like how Bobby Ray Parks still remains aggressive on the offensive end. Hindi na nga siya makashoot, but he still remains aggressive, driving to the basket and creating opportunities for his teammates.
Parks finally connecting with his 7th point, just his 7th point of the game with that hook shot.
Yep. And you know, that is only the 28th basket in the paint for the NU Bulldogs. And an interesting stat here is that in Ateneo's wins, they've limited their opponents to 27 points in the paint. So yung 28 na yan, Eric, right about that average for Ateneo's victories.
Parks, the Guzman from the corner. Even the open looks are rimming out for National University. Their gameplay on both ends of the floor, on offense and defense, started a sharp decline in the second half.
As we see on the screens, Dr. Raul Canlas, head of the medical team for the Blue Eagles. Bobby Ray Parks now with 9 points in the ball game. So 4 quick baskets.
Nice Nice anticipation on the pass by Mbe to tip it away from Slaughter, and Parks gets 11.
And you know, Eric, it's still not over. Ateneo only up by 12. And if NU keeps up at this pace, keeps creating turnovers, they could be back in a hurry.
Last 2 minutes brought to you by PS Bank. Isang tulog lang, may bahay ka na with PS Bank Home Loan with Prime Rebate. Tiongson crossing over. Tiongson baseline. Juami Tiongson blocked from behind by Rosario. Ito si Alolino pushing it. Off to De Guzman. Pass was way too ahead of him and kailangan niyang i-save but into the hands of Ravena.
And you know, that could be the big turnover that will really close the door here for the NU Bulldogs. 1:22 to go. Ateneo will milk this clock.
Modest numbers para kay Ravena here today, only with 12 points. Averages just a little under 15. Nice fake here, everything but the basket. Okay, para kay Kiefer Ravena. Awesome rebound by Mbe. Apply for a BPI family auto loan at bpiloans.com today. 1:13 remaining in the fourth quarter. What a move, Ravena drains it too. 14 points now for Kiefer. Parks is stripped from behind. It will stay with National University. Enervon, todo energy play of the game. Enter give, enter guard, enter Von. You can't execute it any perfectly than that, ano?
Ganda ng separation, no?
Parks rifles a pass inside, but the quick hands of Ateneo's defense tips that away. And with under a minute and a 14-point lead para sa Ateneo, this is slipping away quickly from the grasp of Ray Parks and the Bulldogs. Parks from outside. That may be all she wrote para sa NU against Ateneo today.
And you know, Eric, this win of Ateneo, credit that to probably the halftime huddle that Coach Norman Black gave them during that halftime, because they completely turned around their game in the second half. In the first half, they were down 33-31. In the second half, they've limited NU to so far just 23 points for the entire second half. And really, they've limited the field goal shooting of NU to just about 25% from the field. And on their side, they've scored 25 in the third quarter, 14 here in the fourth quarter. So really, doing it on defense are the Blue Eagles.
And the top three scorers of Ateneo will take their final rest here today as they are taken out by Norman Black to the applause of the Ateneans dito sa Ultra.
And with this win, Eric, impending win, Ateneo will secure at least a playoff for the top two spots. For NU, they're going to tie LaSalle at 7-5. NU still has 2 games remaining, while LaSalle also with 2 games remaining.
Master winning move, control oil up to 8 hours. Get that winning advantage from Master. What a performance dito. Marco, no, ng top 3 scorers ng Ateneo. 12. Make that 14, 14, and 22 from Ravena, Salva, and Slaughter respectively.
So it's going to be a crazy race to the finish, Eric. NU with this loss will go to 75 like what you mentioned. LaSalle will go to 7-5 also. Both teams, NU will still face UP, and then that replay match on the 23rd against FEU. LaSalle will face FEU and then Adamson. So it's going to be a wild finish for that 4th and final playoff spot.
Del Monte Fit and Right step-up play of the game. It's time to step up with the new Fit and Right Orange. Kiefer Ravena, 14 points, right smack on his regular average para sa Ateneo. And at the buzzer, it is 70-56. The Blue Eagles continue to dominate National University with this resounding win. We'll be back with some more individual awards after these.